Audio Jungle.
So talk about kind of uh, your time early on in the industry. Let's go back a little bit. Your
Sure.
time early on as you're kind of finding your way. You start out and you've got your team of four kind of working on this thing, right? Let's see, it's your parents and your husband at the time. Um, what was that dynamic like? Where did you fit? Were you kind of leading the show? Was everybody kind of trying to like do their own little piece? How was
Mhm.
that kind of structured?
We each had our own little piece. We couldn't afford employees back then, or much of. We just had a person that would come in the last few hours of the night and deep clean and lock up, literally lock up. And I was doing the bookkeeping, and I was going in a couple times a week, keeping the place clean. I was more like an attendant, if you will, and I would buy the supplies. The gentleman, my dad and my ex, they were keeping the machines repaired. They were collecting, they were ordering parts. So they were very hands-on with the equipment. And my mom was an attendant. So she and I, we would trade off days and we would go into the store.
So, okay, so that's really interesting. Like, when did you know, hey, like, I don't have to, I'm more than an attendant. Like, that's not all I am.
Yeah, it's super clear. Once I owned the laundromat on my own, and I had a gentleman that was coming in weekly to do machine repairs. I knew nothing about washers, dryers, vending machines, bill changers, water heaters, all that stuff, boiler up on the roof. I really did not know much about the equipment, and that's where I knew I had to step in. So what I started doing when he would come in weekly, I would stand behind him with a pad of paper and a pen, and I would watch him and ask questions and take pictures. And I started taking notes on how to do simplistic things. Obviously, I'm not going to change a transmission. I'm not even 5 foot tall, but that's when I knew I have more of a role in this business, and I better step it up. I need to start going to classes to learn how to repair equipment. I need to understand more about plumbing and electrical, and I had to just
Oh yeah.
step in.
So where did you go to find those resources? Like, what did you plug into?
So my local it's not even really local. It's still about an hour drive away from me. But Western State Design is who I
Okay.
purchase my equipment and my parts through. And thank goodness they offer schools. And now, at that time, the type of equipment I had, the school wasn't being offered over there because I had all Maytag equipment back then. But then when I started switching over into Dexter, I could then attend their classes, and I still
Okay.
try to. But I know enough now that I don't need to stay on top of it as I once did. It's more just a refresher. But I started attending those schools.
What did that do? I mean, I gotta imagine it changed the way that you kind of approach the business in terms of your confidence, right? Like, it's one thing to like, I have this business and people are coming in and doing things for me, but when you know what's going on, that had to change things.
100% because uh, it's just like when a woman goes to a mechanic and she drops off her car. She knows it's making a noise, but she doesn't really know what's causing the noise to be made. Now, let's say, unfortunately, you go to a shop that takes advantage of that.
Yeah.
And now you're pouring all this money out and you're just saying, okay, okay, well, it's the same in the laundry industry. You better get to know your equipment inside out and backwards because when the repair company or repairman comes to do repair work, you need to know what's wrong with that machine before he does. And I say
Yeah.
he because I've never met a woman who does repair work, but I probably could at this point. But you need to understand your equipment. And that way, A, you're not getting taken advantage of. And B, you can have the parts on hand before they even come. They don't need to come out, diagnose, and then leave and come back a week later. Sure, sometimes that does happen. But for the most part, I've already diagnosed my equipment and I know what parts I need.
Well, and it's interesting. Like it presents itself as a very female problem, but it's not. I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't know what you're talking about and someone shows up and and you very clearly have no idea what's going on, that you're a mark, you're a target, right? Like, so you got to watch out for that. But
Mhm.
it presents much more dominantly when it's a male female dynamic, and that's ridiculous, frankly. But at least if you know what you're talking about, and like you said, you can have the parts ready, you can have stuff going on. Whoever that person is that comes in to repair is going to look and go, oh, they know their stuff. Like they understand the joke here. Like now I can get to work, and it's a different level of respect, I think.
And that's exactly what I was just going to comment. I feel that, and I have a wonderful repair company. Please don't get me wrong. They are just wonderful, family owned and operated. And their son has now taken over the business and he's the main repairman. And I will tell you, they respect me big time. They know I know my stuff. They know. So I will call and say, hey, I need a water valve, a cold water valve on this machine or whatever. And he respects me. And even other repairmen that I've used in the past, they've always respected me. They don't care that I'm a woman. It doesn't matter to them. What matters to them is we speak the same language. They can tell me what they need to tell me, and I get it. It clicks. It makes sense to me. I would say, ladies, don't be afraid. It's new and it's different, but so would anything else. Like I said, I got my real estate license 11 years ago. I didn't know anything about being a realtor. I had to get trained. It took me a couple of years to get comfortable with it and fly off on my own where I don't need help anymore. It's any business you get into, there's a huge learning curve. Just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Just dig deep, take the classes, talk to an electrician, a plumber, learn some basic things about it. It's really, at the end of the day, it's not complicated. It just some time. It's really not if I can do it and I don't have a college degree, anybody can do it. Any woman can own and operate this business.